The banking system has sold you a lie, and it is costing you your freedom. You've been told to work hard, put your money in a high-yield savings account, and let it grow at 4% a year. You wait. You scrimp. You save. And maybe, in 40 years, you'll have enough to retire just as your body starts breaking down. But the ultra-wealthy don't wait 40 years. They don't use 4% as an annual benchmark for a savings account. They use it as an active, compounding engine. The rich know that money is only useful if it's moving. And they use a completely different set of math to build their empires while you are stuck waiting. On a bank.today, we are breaking down the 4% compounding secret that the financial elite use to multiply wealth at. Lightspeed, welcome to MindVest, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Level 1, the illusion of safe yields at the core of this problem is how the middle class understands compounding. You've seen the charts. If you invest $500 a month at an average 8% return, you'll be a millionaire in 30 years. It sounds perfectly reasonable, right? But it's an illusion. It ignores the silent wealth killer, inflation. When true inflation runs at 4% to 6%, your safe 4% savings account or 8% index fund is barely treading water. You are essentially taking one step forward and one step back. The bank takes your deposits, pays you 4% a year, and then immediately turns around and lends that exact same money out as credit cards, auto loans, and commercial mortgages at 12%, 18%, or even 25%. The bank is compounding your money actively, daily and monthly, while paying you a tiny, fixed annual yield. The wealthy realize that the traditional banking model is designed to lock up capital. If you want to build real wealth, you have to stop acting like the depositor and start acting like the institution. You have to take control of the frequency of your compounding. You don't wait for the year to end. You compress the timeline. Level 2, the micro-compounding engine ethos, is where the game actually changes. Most people think you need $1 million to start seeing real wealth generation. But the math of compounding doesn't care about the size of your starting balance. It only cares about the rate and the frequency. Let's look at a micro-compounding mechanism. Imagine you take just $20. It sounds like pocket change, right? Barely enough for lunch. But watch what happens when you change the frequency of the return. If you apply a strict, disciplined trading plan in high liquidity markets like Forex, and your singular goal is to compound that balance by exactly 4% a day. You aren't swinging for the fences, you aren't gambling, or trying to double your money overnight on a wild trade. You are hunting for a precise, calculated 4% gain, locking it in, and walking away. On day 1, your $20 makes 80 cents. You now have $20.80. It feels like nothing, but you repeat the system. By day 60 of this daily compounding, that $20 has grown to over $200. By day 120, it's over $2,000 if you keep that 4% daily compounding rolling for a standard trading year round. 250 days, that initial $20 base mathematically scales past $350,000. Now, obviously, the market is never a perfectly straight line. There are losing days. There is friction. There are execution errors. But this is the fundamental mathematical mechanism the rich understand deeply. The power isn't in the massive principle. The power is in the relentless frequency of the compound. When you master the 4% mechanism on $20, the zeros just become placeholders. You are no longer saving money. You are running an active wealth engine. Level 3, the velocity of capital. To maintain that kind of engine, you have to understand the velocity of money. The middle class leaves money sitting in accounts. It gets stagnant. The wealthy never let their capital sleep. Once that compounding engine generates a return, they immediately sweep those profits into the next vehicle. If you make a 4% return on a trade, a real estate flip, or a business transaction, that profit isn't meant to be spent on a liability. It is meant to be moved. We call this the velocity of capital. The faster a single dollar can move from one profitable asset to the next, the faster your net worth explodes. You buy a distressed asset, you force appreciation, you sell it or refinance it for a 4% to 10% gain. You take the original capital plus the profit, and you immediately roll the entire new amount into a larger asset. Every time the money moves, it gathers mass. If you do this once a year, you are an investor. If you do this 4 times a year, you are building an empire. The rich are obsessed with velocity. They want their money moving, returning a profit. and moving again before the tax system or inflation can even catch up to it. Level 4, collateralizing the compound. When your compounding engine is running hot, you face a new problem: taxes. If you are constantly buying, selling, trading, and taking short-term capital gains, the government is going to step in and take up to 40% of your profits. This severely damages the math of your compounding curve. If you lose nearly half your profit to the IRS every time you spin the wheel, the velocity of your capital gets destroyed. So what do the rich do? They stop selling. Instead of liquidating the asset to realize the 4% gain, they hold the asset and borrow against it. This is the secret mechanism of the elite. Let's say your compounding efforts have built a portfolio worth $5 million. Instead of selling off $200,000 to live on, which triggers a massive tax event, you walk into a private bank. You say, I have $5 million in stable compounding assets. I want a line of credit. The bank, seeing your collateral, happily lends you the $200,000 at a low interest rate. Why is this brilliant? Because loans are not income. Loans are not taxed. You get the cash you need to live, fund your next business, or expand your empire, and you pay zero income tax on it. Meanwhile, your original $5 million is still sitting there, untouched, compounding at a rate that easily outpaces the low interest you owe the bank. You are getting richer, you are spending money, and you are legally freezing out the IRS. Level 5, the institutional role you punch. You have mastered the micro-compound, the velocity of capital, and the collateralization of your assets. You reach the final stage. You start operating like an institution not at this level. You aren't just looking for percent returns on your own money. You are looking to capture the returns on other people's money. This is the private equity model. You build a machine, a fund, a holding company, or a roll-up that consistently generates these compounding returns. Then, you let outside investors put their money into your machine. They want the safe, reliable 8% annual return. You give it to them. But because your machine is actually generating returns at a much higher frequency, you keep the spread. You collect management fees just for holding the money. And you take a massive cut of the profits above a certain hurdle rate. You are no longer playing with $20. You are no longer playing with $5 million. You are playing with hundreds of millions of dollars of OPM, other people's money. If you generate a 4% performance fee on a $100 million fund, you just made for $1 million without risking a single dime of your own capital. The investors are happy because they got a better return than the bank. But you are the one who actually built wealth because you own the compounding infrastructure itself. You became the bank. This is a completely different financial universe. The rules you were taught in school were designed to keep you as a depositor, feeding the machine. The rules we just talked about are how you build the machine. Recap level 1, the illusion of safe yields. A 4% annual savings account keeps you poor while the bank gets rich off your money. Level 2, the micro-compounding engine. Frequency matters more than principle. A strict 4% daily compound turns pocket change into fortunes. Level 3, the velocity of capital. Don't let money sit. Move profits immediately into the next appreciating asset. Level 4, collateralizing the compound. Never sell. Borrow against your compounding assets to completely eliminate your tax burden. Level 5, the institutional roll-up. Build the machine. Use other people's money and collect the spread. Become the bank. So which of these levels completely changed how you look at money? Let us know in the comments, and we'll prioritize a deeper dive on it for a future video. And since this is a Sunday motivational, here is your bonus. The $1 billion parking lot. You know those empty, ugly, flat parking lots in the middle of major downtown cities? You've probably walked past them 100 times and thought they were just a waste of space, waiting to be developed. They aren't. They are actually one of the most brilliant compounding land plays in the world. Billionaire families buy up prime downtown real estate during recessions, but instead of spending $50 million immediately to build a skyscraper, they just pave it and paint some white lines. That empty piece of dirt now generates hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in parking fees, with virtually zero maintenance, zero tenant complaints, and zero plumbing issues. The parking revenue covers the property taxes and generates a clean cash flow while the wealthy family simply waits. They wait a decade or two while the city grows around them, making that land infinitely more valuable. They get paid to wait for the land to appreciate, and then they sell it to a developer for a massive premium. It's an almost perfect risk-free asset. Okay, there's no way you thought we would end this with a lesson on asphalt when you started watching this video. But if you made it all the way to this point, then I guess we're pretty good friends. We know this was an intense one, so write the word compound in the comments. That way, we know the real ones are watching all the way to the end that thank you for your friendship, MindVest. We do not take it for granted.